Hi, I'm Dan Mullin with Remax Estate Properties, and this is part of my video series, cool things that people do in the South Bay. And today we're going to be with Bob Brandt, and Bob and his wife Lori own the Red Car Brewery in Torrance. It's in the morning, and we're going to go in and spend the whole day brewing with Bob. I understand as a brewer, pretty much as all you do is make beer and drink it, correct?
Right.
It's a pretty easy job.
I think the general perception is more drinking, less working, and I think what I'm going to show Dan today is that there's a lot of work behind making beer, even a small batch of beer. We're gonna brew about 220 gallons of our lightest beer today, and I think Dan is in for a little work. Are you up for it?
I'm not really up for that. So, all right, well, let's get started. So let's go in and brew some beer.
Okay.
We have to try it though. We're done, right?
Well,
so.
we'll wait till afternoon.
Okay, good.
Right, before we start sampling.
All right, very good.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's go.
All right. Just to take an overview of the brewery, we've got, the lauter tun or mash tun, our brew kettle. We have 3 fermenters here, and then as you go back around, we have 5 serving tanks. So we can only serve 5 beers at a time, but each of these holds 7 barrels or 220 gallons. So when all of these are full, we have about 60 kegs of inventory. We're beginning the milling process right now, so we're cutting open the 55-pound sacks of barley, and we're doing our electrolyte, which is really 4 of these and a little bit of color malt. It's a very simple grain bill. Why don't we get this cut open? And we'll throw it into the mill. There's the barley before it's cracked.
So what is that right there you just poured it into?
What's that?
What did you just pour it into?
I just poured it into our mill.
What's the mill do?
The mill is cracking the grain, and it's making the whole kernel begin to look like what you saw out there where it's cracked. So we're trying to open up the kernel so that the water can hydrate it and get to the carbohydrates and get those enzymes activated.
Okay, great. So it goes from this mill right here
Up the auger. So we'll go out there and we'll...
So we're behind where the beer, you have the network area out in front.
Okay, so from the mill, we're now on the other side, on the brewing side, the tank side, and the cracked barley is going up the auger. It's just falling down with gravity, and we're bringing in the hot water from the hot liquor tank that's outdoors, and we're injecting the water with the barley as it falls into the mash tun. So we're basically just hydrating it. We'll stir it up a little bit once we get everything in here.
Okay, so what's this process called right here?
This is basically called, we're mashing in.
Okay.
We're creating the mash.
Okay. And then how long does this process take?
Once this gets in here, we're going to let it rest for an hour, and that's the rest period. We're shooting for a temperature here that will activate the enzymes in that barley and convert the carbohydrates, which was that white stuff, convert those carbohydrates into fermentable sugar. Okay, so our rest period is over. We rested for 1 hour, and we've got the conversion complete. And now what we're beginning to do is draw the sweet wort over to the brew kettle. This process will take us about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We don't want to go too fast. We want to get proper efficiency. We don't want to compact the grain bed by running too fast. And if we went too fast in that fashion, we might get less efficiency, less sugars in our liquid. So we're going to take it nice and easy and slow and begin the transfer.
Okay, cool. So it all comes off the bottom here, correct?
All comes off the bottom.
And it's going through the grain bed.
Yep. False bottom, up and over.
Oh, so it goes up. Okay, so it comes out the bottom, goes up and over, and
you
into...
can see it come out on the inside of the arm there. You can see that arm kind of high up here.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Right there.
Oh, there, okay.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. And then what's this big thing that I'm filming right now? What's this called?
This right here is the brew kettle.
Yeah. So then once it goes in there, what's the process? How long does it stay in there? So the wort's going in there?
The wort's going in here. Once our level begins to get over the steam coils, we'll turn on the boiler. And then the temperature and our volume, by the time we reach our volume, we should be right at the pinnacle there, or the point of boiling. And then at that point, we'll add our hops and we'll boil for an hour.
Okay, so what's the purpose of the hop?
Well, the purpose of the hop basically is to provide bitterness in the beer. Without the hop, you're going to have a really funky flavored alcoholic beverage. The hop is the quintessential ingredient that makes a barley liquid that's fermented a beer.
Okay, so we're brewing the electrolyte brew, and now Bob is getting the hops ready to put in the electrolyte beer. So what Bob is going to do, or maybe even myself, is we're going to take these hops and throw them into the boiler.
Watch your step there, Dan. You've already...
How do I look?
Okay, just don't put the pitcher in there. Don't drop the pitcher in. We don't want it to taste like plastic.
It's going to be the best batch of brew you've ever brewed here.
Very well may be.
Okay, it's 11:30, opening time. Staff's arrived, and Bob's getting the money ready, so he has put me in charge of making sure that there is enough water in the grain bed there. And here is my big job. Here I go. Turning on pump 1. And then what that does, turns on a little sprinkler system. I'm going to fill up the tank so that grain bed's pretty much covered. Okay, and as this process continues, we're going to go up to the front and talk to Rigo Gonzalez, who's been with Bob and Lori since the Red Car opened 14 years ago. And Rigo's in charge of pizzas, sandwiches, and salads. Open good. All right, go. So kind of explain what you do. You work here in the front area here, and you made this for pizzas, and is it for bread also?
Yeah, I made this for pizzas and for sandwiches.
Okay.
For sandwiches.
So all the bread here is pretty much homemade?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And you're in charge of this whole front area right here, correct?
The whole area, yes.
Okay. So what happens is the servers come up and say, Rigo, we need this, and you make it up for them?
Right away.
Yeah, and then everything else is done in the kitchen back there?
Right.
All right, cool. So explain what's back here.
Oh, here's a pizza oven. How you see, it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
But it's where we cook the pizza, the flatbreads, or the sandwiches back there.
And how are the pizzas? Are they good?
Very good. Very good.
And then are these pizza toppings here, or for the salad, or what is all this?
That is for the pizzas and for the salad. We have the dressings.
Oh, cool.
For the salad. Get more toppings for the salads, with jalapenos and all that stuff.
Okay, so we're back in the brew area, and we're looking at the bottom of the mash tub. You can see all the spent grains there. Bob usually gets one of his flunkies to clean that stuff out. Bob's a little lazy sometimes. Anyway, so the transfer's complete, and the liquid's in the beer kettle, and it's getting ready to boil.
And we're boiling.
Bob, so you've kind of showed us a lot about the brewing process, and we're still in the middle of it, but lunch hour's here, so how much of this is a restaurant and how much is a brewery?
Well, you know, as much as I would like to think that, we are a brewery first and foremost, and the beer is extremely important, we are a restaurant first and foremost. I mean, 2/3 of our sales are food, so I mean, as you can see when you pan out in the restaurant, here at lunch, people here are not here for beer. A few people are having some beers, but for the most part, we serve great quality food, and we're known for really good food as well as great beer.
Crowd has picked up, so you've got the brewing going there, and now we're talking about we've looked at the kitchen and stuff.
Yeah.
So how many people do you have working here, Bob?
We have about 28 to 30 employees.
All right, and then what do most of them do? What are their jobs?
Well, most of them are, our kitchen is really the professional side. Most of our guys are all full-time. the front of the house are typically kids, students that work here for a few hours and then go to school. You know, many of them are in junior college and you know, trying to get ahead. And yeah, it can be pretty crazy and fast-paced here at lunch. We have Honda, Toyota, people all up this western corridor with businesses, and it can get a little crazy around here, which is good.
It looks
really
crazy.
good.
Yeah. All right, let's go in the kitchen, and why don't you give me a little tour of the kitchen? But first, I want to kind of see some of the stuff they're making up here. So.
Sorry.
That stuff looks good. So go ahead.
Okay, so here, come on through. Watch
Check
out.
the kitchen. What'd you make there, Maverick?
This is a salmon with a tomato basil sauce, seasonal veg, and garlic mashed potatoes.
Looks good. So tell me a little bit about the kitchen here, Maverick. What do you got going here?
Well, we got. This is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens.
The magic happens.
Yeah.
So
We
have the
have
condiments and
all
stuff
the
over here.
yes. We have the charbroiler, saute station, the fry station, and this is the preparation area where we put everything together.
Good.
On this side is the expo where all the food once it's put together is under the heat lamp and ready to go to our customers.
What's some of your favorite food though? What's good? What do you make that you think is the best thing that you make?
The best that we make, Motorman cheeseburger, Red Car Club sandwich, and if you are into salads, the Southwest chicken salad.
And Rigo makes that, right?
And Rigo makes that.
All right, so you make no salads, pizzas, or sandwiches back here?
No,
it's
we
all
don't.
cooked stuff here.
Yes.
All right, very good. Good. All right.
Go Dodgers.
Right now we're almost done boiling. We're getting down to our last 15 minutes, and at 15 minutes till knockout, I'm going to add the yeast nutrient. These are inorganic, organic nitrogen compounds that the yeast will consume during fermentation, so that it makes the yeast happy. And then this is something that's added 5 minutes after I add this. These are finings. They call this a copper kettle in some circles, so these are copper finings. And this will help drop a lot of the precipitates, proteins, whatnot, down into the bottom, and so will not end up in the final liquid prior to fermentation. So it helps to clarify the liquid and get a clean break.
Cool.
Basically a clean hot break. So we're going to add the yeast nutrient.
Yum yum.
Oh, that's fucking hot.
Watch your hand, Bob.
Alright, so these hops are just a very small addition towards the end of the boil to add some very small aromatic qualities to the beer.
So how much longer?
Okay, we got 5 minutes.
5 minutes? All right, what are you doing in there, Bob?
So the tank is visually clean, but I'm just putting a final iodine rinse on there to get it sterile. We don't want any bacteria in here because the bacteria will infect the wort when we bring it in here. So just another step here to try and keep the beer sterile.
So this is officially the one we're going to put the beer that you're brewing right now in.
The beer we're brewing will go in here.
Do you ever sleep in there?
No, I've never turned it into a hot tub.
Does Lori ever send you there?
Yeah, and Dan thought that all he was going to do today was shoot video. So the tables have turned. It's a little hot in there, isn't it, Dan?
Don't ever show up to this place and expect not to have to do some work.
Yeah, well, I fed you 2 meals, so I expect a little something.
This is ridiculous. I would have rather stayed home. All right, I'm done now. What's Bob gonna make me do next?
Okay, now that the whole brewery is 6 inches deep in water, let's see what you're doing over there.
You get what you pay for, Bob.
Yeah. I guess I didn't pay very much. Hey, it's looking nice and
Pizza,
clean.
a little sip of beer doesn't get you anything.
That's looking nice. That's looking real good in there.
And I thought you brewers had it good.
Yeah. No, it's not easy.
I didn't know you had to actually work.
I mean, from the moment you saw rubber boots, you should have been suspect. All right, so we are slowly inching towards being done here. We finished the boil, ran a whirlpool, let it rest for a half hour, racked it off, got all the hops out of the way. Now we're pushing it through the heat exchanger. So we're taking this liquid that's about 205 degrees, it's not boiling anymore, and we're going to push it through the heat exchanger and using water and the coolant that we have generally for the brewery to keep things cold, keep our fermenters and serving tanks and bar tap cold. We're going to use all of that to get this from 205 down to about 80 degrees. So we're pumping over into the fermenter.
So right now it's going over there.
Yeah, right now we're filling
So the beer, that big tank, the second one, is filling up with
that one up. Yes. Yeah.
with almost beer.
Almost beer. It's almost. It is a rich, sugary liquid that is very fermentable. So what we're going to do is once we get that to about 80 degrees, then we're going to oxygenate it and pitch our yeast, and then it's out of our hands. We've done everything we can do. It's now in the yeast's hands.
Very good. So how long does this transfer take?
This transfer will take about an hour.
Okay. So I'll just be cleaning out the
Tank for the next.
the tank. Yeah. Bob is ruthless. Okay, so we have the honor to be with Lori Brandt today. So this is Bob's wife, and they own the Red Car together. So as Bob was telling me, he pretty much does everything, and you just show up every once in a while and collect the money. Is that correct?
I so wish I could say that. It's like I want to be one of those people. That's like, oh, I don't work,
Yeah.
except just pick up the money. But I do the portion of the restaurant, like the front of the house, which is the staffing and the catering. I also work with the chef, so I do a little bit of the back of the house work. Mostly all that menu design, menu changes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and Bob, we laugh because Bob does Bob, beer, and bills. That's what he does. That's right. That's exactly right. That's what he does.
Cool. And then how have you guys worked together as a team? Has it been enjoyable for you? And
Yeah, I think
do you have your moments where you have, some disagreements, or is it pretty much a good thing for you guys? Or
Yeah, I think that he's definitely, I always say he's a great brewer because he's definitely left brain, but it has a little bit of that creativity.
Yeah.
And I'm more like the creative side. I came from
Okay.
the garment industry forever and ever. I was a national sales manager, so I'm all, okay, but I also have that business sense too where I'm like, okay, we got to get it done.
Yeah.
But he's more like, okay, we got to change this right now. And I'm just like, okay, well, you can't just change it without talking, talking it through and looking at all the nuances of changing something.
Yeah.
So
it's a little impulsive.
So, but it's good. I mean,
It sounds like a good balancing.
Yeah,
if
it
he's
is.
doing that stuff and you're doing
Yeah.
your thing, and it
Yeah.
seems like, I've been here before, and it seems like a great atmosphere. The people in here seem to really love it. They seem to know you guys. They seem to know each other. So it's almost like a little community place. It's like a friends bar. Cheers.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
cheers.
it
The
is.
cheers of Old Torrance. So
It is, and it's fun. And it's like we have a lot of people come from all over, which is
Yeah.
really nice. I mean, we could have people come in. We even have people come from like Huntington Beach and that kind. That's what
Yeah.
people were like. Why don't you close the restaurant down and do special events here?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because I have people who are driving, an hour and a half to get here for a
Yeah.
beer, and I'm going to say, oh no, we're closed for a special event. So,
Yeah.
but it's interesting that mostly everyone here, you would think it would just be from Torrance,
Yeah.
but it's not.
They're from all over the place.
Yeah.
So let's want to see our.
So everything went through here, right?
finished
So it should be
product,
filling up right there.
Yeah. And
All right.
there we go. So we're almost there. Dan, I do believe you're sweating a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Okay. So we have almost exhausted the day's hours, and we're just finishing up, and we're going to pitch the yeast. I use an English yeast called Nottingham, and 500 grams. This is about $125 worth of yeast. So we're going to cut this open. Our wort now is sugar rich and oxygen saturated. and we're gonna pinch this baby here. And tomorrow morning, this thing will be well on its way. Okay, so we're gonna get the yeast in there, and then we're just gonna let it ride. It's 3 to 5 days for fermentation, and basically it's on its own now. The most exciting part of the brew day is when you actually stop what you've been doing all day and have the opportunity to pour yourself a beer. And Dan, you've worked very hard today, so what I'd like to do is offer you the first beer of the day.
And what I like to do is drink it.
Oh, you know what? We'll call it the first beer of the day. How's that?
Yeah, because I already had a couple sips earlier,
Officially.
but I haven't had an official beer yet. So.
All right, so let's have an official beer.
All right, very good. We'll do a cheers under the table. Here's to Day of Brewing.
Here's the day of brewing.
Okay, so we've wrapped up a long day of brewing beer with Bob. Got here early in the morning. Believe it or not, it took all day to brew the beer, to get it in the fermenter. And about 3 to 5 days, that beer will be done. Then he'll transfer it over to one of the serving tanks, and it'll be ready for service. So I hope you enjoyed this show about Bob with Bob and Lori. They have a great little business here, and it's very fascinating what they do. At least to me, I hope you enjoyed it too. And come by the Red Car anytime. They have great beer, great food. I got to tell you that the South Bay IPA that Bob makes it's fantastic. It's one of the best IPAs I've ever had. It has a very creamy, smooth taste, but with or texture to it, but it's got that great IPA flavor, so it's great. You can also come in here and get growlers of it. So for 15 bucks, I think that's the price. You can get a growler, which is basically 4 16-ounce beers. That's a good deal. So anyway, and then if you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, that's what this is all about. If you know anybody who's looking, or you yourself, anywhere in the South Bay, please give me a call, text me, email me, and I would love to help you. And again, come check out the Red Car Brewery. It's a fantastic business, and you'll be very happy you did.
The restaurant here, we've been here since August of 2000, and hey, thanks guys. And
hold on, I got it.
Hey, how's that look? Is that looking okay? Right. Are we in the middle?
No, you guys are.
All right,
Is this the new brewer helper?
Yeah, right.
I'm the help.
I'm afraid he's not going to last very long.
Let's get a close up on that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, good night.
And
oh no, we gotta start over.
yeah, interesting. But what I did is I used this stuff. I've got a little. I shouldn't say it on camera.
Well, I can edit anything.
Okay.
This is brewery wear right here, folks.
Brewery wear. Yeah. It ain't pretty.
Off with the boots and on with the clogs.
Off the boots and on with the clogs. You know, I never could tie my shoes anyway, so this was worked out. This has been a good career choice.
That's good. I like that. All right, so
Blah, 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 blah.
yeah. Yeah, tie that so it looks tight. Then you look official. Pretty talented at this, at least.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm a real estate agent, so I've spent my life shoveling shit.
You might want to delete that if this is going on your website.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just think of your audience. Think of the audience. Okay, I'm gonna. Mr. President, happy birthday to you.
So this is what brewing beer does to you. This is the final result.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be a little nutty to do this for a living.